Dear students, greetings from Dr. T. Sendil Murugan, Associate Professor and Head Department of Information Technology, Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science, Warangal. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about user-defined function in C programming. So in the previous video lecture, we have discussed about string-related functions, string handling function, how to read the string, how to write the string, and table of strings. These topics we have discussed. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about user-defined function. In this video lecture is week 9, lecture 1, classroom discussion topic 25. We are going to discuss about user-defined function topic in C programming. Before going to discuss about the topic, we must know that the lecture outcome of the particular lecture. After completion of this lecture, students will be able to write a C program to use user-defined functions and also able to differentiate user-defined function with the system-defined functions. So summary of previous lecture, reading and writing a string in C language, we are discussed using getS function, putS function, getCh, getChar, putCh, putChar. So those functions we are discussed in the last video, as well as string handling functions like string reverse, string copy, string compare, string concatenation, string upper, string lower. So like many functions we are discussed under the topic. And table of strings like two-dimensional array we are used for storing multiple strings as considers the table of strings. So in this video lecture, we are going to discuss about type of the functions. The first one is a system-defined function. Which function is inbuilt function in C language that is considered as the system-defined functions. We know already printf functions, scanf functions are there. So those functions are inbuilt function that is considered as the system-defined functions. The second type is user-defined functions. What is user-defined functions? Who is developer or user? They will define the function. Okay, that is considered as the user-defined function. So user-defined function means function is a group of statements that perform a specific task. What is function? Function means it's a block of statements that will perform some task. How we can mention the blocks? Open brace and close brace. So these particular block will be considered as functions. Okay. So it divides large program into small parts. What is a function? So normally the large program will be split into multiple small programs. So for that we need functions. So the function is something like hiring a person to do the specific job for you. Okay. So if we many work is there, we have to distribute the work. For example, manufacturing of the car, you will take that car. That car parts will be developed in some places. Car engine may be manufactured in some places. So finally, the entire things will be combined. Then it will make us a car. Okay, same like that. The function blocks have different tasks. That main program we will write it in C programming languages. Every C program can be thought of as a collection of these functions. Okay, so a collection of these functions only we can say simply that C programs. The program execution in C language starts from the main function. Already we know that main function is the heart of the C program. The function execution will start from the main function, already we know. So we know that how we are written the main function, return type, main, then function body is there. Okay, this is a inbuilt function. So the remaining functions are user defined function. Why function? Why we want the function normally? So already we told if we want to perform some specific task, then we need the functions. Okay. So example, avoid the rewriting the same code over and over. So reusability. So once we write the code for some task, For any type of task, we will use that same function. Okay, so no need to write it again and again for the same task. So that is the use of function. Using function, it becomes easier to write the program and keep track of why they're doing. Okay, so what it is doing. We know that if example, we will write one addition program. Okay, so addition is the function. So here it will perform addition operation. Whenever you want to perform addition operation, you just call this function. Okay, so no need to write multiple times to perform addition operation. That is the use of function. Okay, how the function is working normally. So this is the structure of function. Okay, so how function works in C programming. So initially, how we will write the function? Function writing function is like again return type and function name. Then here, if you have arguments, you will give the arguments. Otherwise, you can give blanks. So arguments. So this is the syntax for the writing the functions. Here in this example, they are given no return values, void, and function name is they are given directly function name, and there is no arguments. This is one of the function. This function performs some task. Okay, so those things is considered the dots from the main function. So some codes are there already. Okay, but when we want to call this function, then directly just give that name of the function, that immediately the control will transfer to the particular function. Okay, the C program will start with the main function, then line by line execution is there. When the C execution is read this line, then immediately the control will be transferred to the particular function block. Okay, so mainly the function structure will be splitted into three parts. Okay, so whenever we are writing the user defined function, we must be remember three parts. Okay, so what are the parts? First one, so like we need, first one is function declaration. Okay, so you see, first we have to inform to the compiler, to informing to the compiler that I am going to use this function. This function have no return type. So this function have no return values, and I am not passing any argument for this function. So this is function prototype. Okay. So we can say this is function declaration or function prototype. This is the first part. So once we informed the compiler, then we have to call the function. When we want to perform the task, the particular task, we have to call the function using that function name. Okay. So this is considered as a function call. Okay. So now function declaration is there. We are informed to the compiler already. Then we are calling the function. So now the control will transfer to the particular block. Okay. So once the compiler is reading this line, the control will be transferred to the particular function block. Okay, so then this is the function body. Okay, so this is considered as a function body. So how we will write it? This is considered as a function definition. Okay, so these three parts you have to remember when you are thinking about user defined function, function prototype or function declaration, function call, and function definition. Okay. So now you just recall it. What is function in C program? Okay. So you read these lines and answer it. I will give 10 seconds time. It will take 10 seconds and say the answer. So 10 seconds over. I hope you are selected the answer. I will show the answer. If you are chosen the wrong answer, again you will go to first slide and start from the video from the first slide onwards. Okay. Answer is all. The function is group of statements that perform will some task. It divides a large program into small parts. It avoids the rewriting the same code over the word, and it becomes easier to write programs and keep track of what they're doing. Okay, so this all 4 points will be considered the functions. Okay. So next, function definition. What is function definition? How we are define the function? Function means it's a block of statement that will perform some task. Already we know that. Okay. The function definition defines the function header and body. Okay. So next, function header part should be identical to the function prototype. What are the things you have to remember? Function return type. What type of value it will return, and what is the function name, and list of the parameters. So in the previous slide I shown no return type. First we have to write example void. So then function name. You can give addition. Add is the function name. So some function name, and within the bracket you will give the list of parameters. So this is the function header should be like this. A function body part defines a function logic. Okay, so what are the things should be there? Function statements. Whatever the function will do, that statement should be there. Okay, so syntax for the return type. First return type, that means what type of value it will return, integer or float or character. So what type of value it is written this function. After execution this function, what type of value it will be returned. And function name, this is user defined function. No, you will give any name, but you have to follow the rules and regulations. You can start with underscore, you can start with the alphabetical characters, but it should not start with numbers and other symbols. Okay, and you will give parameters. Okay, so argument 1, argument 2, like that. How many arguments you want, you can pass it. So you can mention which type of argument you are passing. Okay, so for this example you will see this void is no return values, addition is the function name, and it will pass two values, integer values x and y. So based on this x and y, it will perform x plus y operation, and it will print the addition values. Okay, so now we will see this example program. So in this program I given the number for step number for understanding purpose. Step number 1, so already we know we have to include the header files, standard input output .h. It is for linking the input output operations, and these two function declaration is there. One is name, another one is message. Okay, so these two functions does not return any values. That's why we are using void, and there is no arguments are passed to this function. Okay, simply we informed the compiler that I am going to use two functions in this program. So then main function it is there. In main function directly we are calling the function. So this is function call. Okay, so simply using the name is considered the function call. So what happened? Compiler is reading the line 7. Immediately the control will goes to number 11. Okay, so directly it will comes here in void name. The control is come. So entire this function over, then it will comes to next line, line 8. Okay, so now the line number 11 to 14 it will work because the function block is closed here. Okay, so what it will do? It will print hi. Okay, then it will comes to control over to here again. So next the message function is there. Then control will goes to number 15. So the where the function definition is there it will the control will be transferred to there. So again this from this function again it is calling the name function. So the control will goes to again name function. It will execute this block again. It will print the hi of hi. Then the control will comes to here again same message. Then print hello. So what is the output? First it will print hi. So see here this is the output. First it will print hi. Then it will control comes to message. Then it will call again name function. Again it will print hi. Okay, so then the control comes to here again it will print hello. Okay, so this is the output of this program. So are you getting it how the function is working, how we can declare the functions? Okay, So now we must be know this advantages of function. What is the advantage? Now we know that how we are writing the function, especially. So we don't want to write again and again the same block of coding. That is for that purpose we are using function especially. It is considered the reusability. Okay. So once we are written the program or code for the particular task, whenever we want to perform that task, we can call that function. Okay. We can track or understand large program easily when it is divided into functions. So functions are used to slice these large programs into smaller blocks. So if you have some errors or you want to debug in the entire program, if you are written the functions means it is easy to identify the errors. Okay. So already we set reusability. Then testing and debuggings are very easy while you are doing. So reduction in size of the program. Okay, so if we are writing again and again the same code means the number of lines are more and it will be too large. So for that purpose, it is reducing the size. So finally, we can say that the program will easier to understand, maintain and debug. Reusable codes that can be used for other programs. The large program can be divided into smaller modules. Hence, a large project can be divided among many programmers. Okay. So lecture level programs. Now you know what is user defined function, how we can declare the function, you know. Okay. So here, based on that knowledge, you can write a C program to create a function which prints a given message in given number of times. Okay. So if you given 5 means the same message will be printed 5 times. For that you have to write the program. The second lecture level problem programs is that develop a C program to create a function for different arithmetic operations. So we know that what is the arithmetic operation. Okay, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. So for these operations, you can write the program with the help of functions. Okay. So we have to revisit the lecture outcome. Having completed the discussion on user-defined function in C, now students should be able to write a C program to use user-defined functions and also differentiate user-defined function with the system-defined functions. Okay. So further doubt, you can refer our textbook, which is authored by E. Balaguruswamy sir, the book titled Programming in ANSYS, in Chapter 9, User-Defined Function. Also referred weekly tutorial sheet for clarifying the doubts. Thank you very much. I hope you are enjoyed this video. So we will see in the next video with next topic.